Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Ripple says it's throttling growth of global XRP remittance platform, and here's why. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says the company has more demand for its XRP cross-border payments product than it can currently facilitate. Known as ODL or on-demand liquidity, the payments product relies on crypto exchanges to accept cash and move the equivalent value in XRP across borders, where it can be converted right back to fiat currency. As long as there is enough liquidity in the XRP marketplace, the transactions can process in seconds and largely bypass the issue of crypto price volatility. In order to ensure that liquidity stays sufficient, Garlinghouse tells Modern Consensus they've actually had to slow the adoption of the product. The company has actually throttled that growth because one of the things that's important when using ODL is you have to have really good liquidity on both sides of the transaction. And so if XRP doesn't have enough liquidity in the marketplace, then you can't put as much demand through. The company recently hired former Goldman Sachs FX executive director Aditya Tarakia to help create a strategy to boost XRP liquidity and enlist more market makers, brokers, and exchanges. Garlinghouse also says the demand for ODL is outpacing the company's overarching international payments platform, RippleNet, which doesn't require XRP. Ripple says more than 20% of all transactions on a global network of financial institutions now use their native currency. It was at less than 10% as recently as the fourth quarter of 2019. In the next article, EU-wide regulation ahead, new rules for crypto assets, digital assets, and stablecoins. Some first documents have been revealed about the new European regulation regime on crypto assets, digital assets, and stablecoins. Not too much is known so far, but only some first insights and documents. According to these, the EU seeks to establish an all-encompassing regulation framework, which of course also includes financial service providers, issuers, etc. For example, the European Commission ultimately places digital crypto assets within the existing financial market regulatory framework and ensures that services related to digital assets are regulated in a similar way to traditional assets. Also, to regulate the yet-to-launch Libra network, stablecoin projects will be significantly regulated if they are expected to have a systemic relevance. In the next article, 73% of Argentines say cryptocurrency is best for saving in economic crisis, done through a survey. As a survey of Argentina's citizens show that 73%, that's pretty significant, you're talking nearly 3/4 of the entire Argentina citizen base, believe that cryptocurrency is the most effective saving method in the current economic crisis, such as a hedge against high inflation. And in the next article, Visa exec says opt out with Bitcoin, slamming Fed's policy change toward inflation. And on Thursday, 17 top Federal Reserve officials explained that the committee plans to let inflation run hotter than usual or above the benchmark 2% rate for a duration of time. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech was considered a major policy shift. A number of economists commented on the central bank's move. Senior Director of Policy at Visa, Andy Yee, said Powell's inflation statements were historical and people should opt out with Bitcoin. According to the U.S. Federal Reserve, the central bank will be allowing inflation to run up higher than 2% for a period of time. The Fed also said that it wouldn't hold a bias toward the labor markets, and the central bank will hold to its new policy framework. At news.bitcoin.com, recently reported on the Fed's inflation proposal and how it aims to leverage the economy's inflation rate. And the committee seeks to achieve inflation that averages 2% over time and therefore judges that. Following periods where inflation has been running persistently below 2%, the Fed explained on Thursday appropriate monetary policy will likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time, the central bank added. And Andy Yee, a senior director of policy at Visa, tweeted about the Fed's latest move to let inflation run hotter than usual. Jerome Powell's speech today will be for the history books, Yi said. The Visa executive continued, "Never in the history of mankind was so much stolen from so many by so few. Opt out with Bitcoin." And again, to remind you, a lot of times when they mean any cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is basically the face of all brands when they consider that discussion. Ripple executing game plan to expand XRP remittances around the world. Ripple wants to replicate the success in its U.S. to Mexico remittance corridor and other jurisdictions around the globe, according to Craig DeWitt, the company's director of product. In a recent fireside chat hosted by Reed Catalado, founding partner at blockchain consulting firm Prism Group, DeWitt says the company is looking to accelerate its expansion plans. "We have a game plan and we're going to roll that out into multiple jurisdictions around the world, and we're going to escalate the speed with which we're able to do that. I love liquidity, and I think liquidity begets liquidity. I think success begets success, and the markets where we're seeing that, we're going to replicate that and grow that footprint and improve people's lives in multiple jurisdictions, not just the Philippines, Europe, and Mexico, but all around the world." And I want to thank XRP Crypto Wolf at XRP Crypto Wolf for sending content. In the next article, we have federal agencies turning to blockchain for its benefits. Even the FDA is now using blockchain. Federal agencies have turned to blockchain for its transparency, efficiency, security, and flexibility. And again, for maybe those of you who have still like a 1% questionable bit of doubt left in you, wondering if this is a reality, if your investment is here to stay, if this is a scam, I think that should pretty much knock out the remaining 1% and reassure you that you are invested very early and going to be very successful for your patience. According to the Fed Tech magazine, several federal agencies like the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, and the Department of Treasury began using blockchain. Officials in the U.S. Food and Drug Administration needed an effective way to help them track data on the H1N1 swine flu virus that had begun to spread again in 2017. And of course, officials at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration did not find a better way than adopting blockchain technology. And next article, Ethereum Classic hit by the third 51% attack in a month. And now doesn't that make other assets such as XLM and XRP look pretty amazing? The Ethereum Classic blockchain suffered a 51% attack Saturday evening, its third such attack this month, noticed by mining company Bitfly, which also spotted the first attack on August 1st. There's a lot here if you're interested to cruise through that. The headline was enough for that discussion and this conversation. The Bank of Korea to pick consulting partner for CBDC Drive. And there we have again, constantly picking up with the CBDCs. The Bank of Korea, the BOK, is accelerating its drive for the timely establishment of a central bank digital currency, the CBDC pilot system. Last month, the central bank finished its first phase review before setting up the CBDC pilot system. It plans to unveil details for a consulting partnership with a local company on August 31st as part of its second step toward the CBDC drive, the central bank said Sunday. Those interested in partnering up for the project can submit an application form to the BOK. The central bank did not share specifics over when it would make its selection, but under the second phase project, a potential partner will help the BOK establish a CBDC system architecture based on the first phase research results, the BOK said. Architecture refers to the overall CBDC system structure, including details such as applications, data management, and security. The BOK plans to speed up the establishment of the CBDC pilot system by using the architecture. The central bank is set to begin the pilot test of its own CBDC system by the end of 2021. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with a final thought. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Remember, this is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Much love. We will catch you in the next one.